Hey AJ, did you finish that No Man's Sky expedition?
I'm very, very close. I saw Nick. I got a little interrupted last night while I was working on it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, but I got it. I'm on the last phase of it. I'm on phase 5 of it, so I'm very close. I can taste my sandworm. It's so close.
You can taste your sandworm. Now, do you eat that shit
Yes.
raw like sushi, or is it something you gotta fry up, get a little air fry action going on?
You just freebase it. You freebase the sandworm.
All right, man, let's get this show started.
Let go.
This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here, 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. If you're watching this right now, not later right now, but right now you're watching it live like a good little kitty should. But if you don't want to watch us, of course, you can always listen to us over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or streaming services of your choice. So make sure you do that if that's the kind of thing you want to do. But I personally couldn't do this without looking at AJ's pretty face over here. AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
What is up, Brian? What is up, Game Gatos? Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. And we are here, Brian, to hump you full of all the PSVR news you need to know about and enjoy in your sweet PSVR goodness.
I didn't know PSVR news came in a liquid form.
Man, it's been awesome, man. How you doing? I've been having a lot of fun, and I will answer that. Yeah, how's it going?
It's good, man. Good. Been busy. Lots of reviews to get taken care of. Things are about to heat up with like Windlands 2 and Baby Hands next week, so want to make sure we're all caught up and ready to go. I had a little bit of a delay on my Yuki review because I discovered like a new gameplay mechanic they don't talk about in the tutorial, and like I kind of love it a little bit more than I did before. And so I wanted to make sure that my review reflected that. So I spent some more time playing and capturing new footage, and I'll have that review up tomorrow. I think the last time on Gamescast I said it would be like a high 7, like 7.7, 7.8, 7.9. It's easily 8.0 now. And, Yuki's a really, really fun game.
Way to pull through, Yuki.
Good job, Yuki.
Let's go.
Grizzly Bear King with a $5 tip in the chat says, "Take my money." Well, thank you so much, Grizzly Bear King. We appreciate that. You can have some words in response. AJ, how have you been doing, man? What have you been playing?
I have been great. As I said, I played some No Man's Sky, got back into that, and that expedition has just been such a blast. I can't wait to finish it, get my sandworm. The other thing I've been playing, Brian, so has been a lot of Dreams, and I've been talking about a lot of Dreams lately because, quite frankly, Dreams has been some of, if not the best VR gaming I have done recently. And I posted this thing on Reddit, I think last night, and it's a collection that I've made. I'm posting a link in the chat now. I'm posting it as many places as I can, and Reddit really responded well to this. And you know, when you're browsing Dreams, you can see how many people are playing.
Yeah.
And this Reddit post got almost 200 upvotes. It's at like 197 or something. And I saw all these people going in and playing, and I saw all the games in my collection that I created. These are all hand-picked games, only the best of the best PSVR games, and I just see them start lighting up with players. And that made me so happy. And the one game I want to spotlight this week, the dream of the week, last time was Pressure, which I think people are really getting their minds blown because how it looks really realistic in a way. It looks a lot like BioShock or, like one of those underwater facility games like Soma. This week, I'd like to highlight Digital Chaos RPG, which is this super badass RPG. We don't get a lot of RPGs in VR, and I think I don't know why. I guess people are still figuring out basic core concepts of immersive technology, like interacting and stuff. But I gotta shout out this game because I feel like I haven't played a VR game in so long that has armor, weapons, like statistics for those items as you pick them up. It's an action RPG, and it's huge. I'm halfway through the game, and I'm over 2 hours in. So, and it's got like enemy variety. I mean, everything from like skeletons that you start out fighting that are like basic to later. There's like these it's like a pirate cove with like a beach and like these like kraken monsters that fight you. And this is very Dark Souls or Souls influenced, as well as a little bit of Final Fantasy influence. So just had to give a shout out to this game. If you haven't yet, you gotta go check out Digital Chaos RPG, as well as the rest of the collection. And just really thank you to everybody who's going in there supporting those. Make sure you give them a thumbs up and follow the dreams and support these creators, because they are doing God's work right now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like when you see a game like this, you really start to realize, like, just not that we didn't know already, but just it kind of lets people understand just how deep you can get with Dreams. It's not a simple, third-person platformer creator or a simple first-person shooter creator. You can get really, really deep with this stuff and this kind of shit. I was watching you play. You were streaming it today.
I was streaming in the Discord some, and I was showing off. Like there's like a Simpsons Call of Duty Zombie where you play as like Homer Simpson, and it's like the Call of Duty Zombie structure, and I love it. You get hit by a zombie and he's like, "Don't," and it's so great.
Yeah, when games that are being made in Dreams for PSVR look better and play better and are just way more fun than shit that we're actually paying for in the PlayStation Store for VR. That says a whole lot. I mean, it says less about the games that are coming out and more about the games that people are able to make. That's just a huge creative tool set. Yeah, if you don't own Dreams, man, you're missing out on one of the best reasons to own a PlayStation 5 and a PSVR. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right, man. Well, we got a full show ahead of us, so let's get the ball rolling here and talk about the Game Awards, man. They just announced the nominees for the VR Game of the Year. December 9th, guys. Make sure you get over there to the Game Awards website and vote for your pick for the game you think should win the VR Game of the Year category. AJ, what were the nominees?
The nominees for Best Game Award in the VR category are Hitman 3, Lone Echo 2, Sniper Elite VR, I Expect You to Die 2, and Resident Evil 4 VR.
I feel like I picked the right person to read that off. I was going to do it, but it wasn't going to be nearly that theatrical.
I'm warming up. I'm getting ready. It's award season.
Nice. Okay, so what's your choice? Let's easy question first. What's your choice? What are you voting for?
Well, it's not an easy question because my easy choice is Song in the Smoke, Brian, as I saw you as well.
Yeah.
You were saying that on Twitter, and I am totally there with you. So this is the thing, is that I went with Hitman 3. I don't think, Sniper Elite was fun. It's not Game of the Year material. I Expect You to Die 2 was really good, and I'm kind of rooting for that one as well. I've played Resident Evil 4, and it's nothing wrong with the port, or there's nothing wrong with the quality of the port. I just don't think I'm the biggest Resident Evil 4 fan out of all the Resident Evils. It just doesn't do it for me. That being said, I completely expect that one to win. And I'll tell you what, I usually like going for the underdogs. Now, I know absolutely nothing about Lone Echo 2, but I'm secretly... So my pick is Hitman 3, but I will say, after all the things I've heard, I'm secretly kind of going for Lone Echo 2, just because I feel like it went under the radar a little bit, and I like to root for these games, the underdog.
Yeah, but we were definitely up in arms about Song in the Smoke. But yeah, it seemed like everybody, as soon as I posted that, everyone was like, Nathan and VR Grid, who's in the chat right now, was like, what about Demio? And it sounds like that was another one that was hugely overlooked for this award ceremony. I voted for Hitman, and obviously it has a lot to do with Hitman. It also has a lot to do with what it unlocks and it allows you to play Hitman 1 and 2. I just think it's like you don't get these AAA experiences forget about PSVR, but just VR period very often. And so I just want to, as far as I'm concerned, I need to Yes, I love indie devs. Yes, I always root for the underdogs, but more than anything else, I want to scream from the rooftops. We need more AAA experiences in VR, right?
Yeah,
And amazing that IO Interactive did the great job that they did.
they really did. Minus the move support. That's if it had move support, it wouldn't even be close.
Right.
VR Grid says Lone Echo 2 is good, but not Game of the Year good. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
So Hitman 3, my pick, and I hope it wins. But
All yours history says stop making cutscenes flat in VR games. Yeah, I agree. Agree, man. Stop ripping us out of the action so that we can watch something on a flat screen. I also got Professor Lilith with the $5 tip reminding us that this Sunday, November 21st, 2 p.m. Eastern, Bullet Roulette. Holy crap, man! This is the
Wow.
multiplayer game of the week. Now, I haven't participated in the multiplayer games every week for a while now because I've just been busy.
Yeah.
It seems to come around right at the time where I need to get other shit done. But Bullet Roulette sounds like a good time to jump into for an hour or so and just shoot the shit with some people. Professor Loth also mentions that Wild Hour 7108 begins an Aussie New Zealand time zone weekly multiplayer starting next week. Details will be on the Discord. That is amazing. That is awesome that we're getting people from different time zones to be able to run these different events so that everyone can be involved. But yeah, man, like definitely if you want to get in on Bullet Roulette this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, make sure you join Discord. Join Discord anyway, man. That's where we all hang out. That's where the fun happens. That's where the giveaways happen. That's where the question of the day happens. That's where all the news happens. That's where the release schedule is. That's probably other stuff too. I forget.
Well, Brian, the next news story involves an event that we were looking forward to, and it happened, and that is the PS Talents update. And we saw a brand new look and got some new details at Do Not Open, which was a horror game that was supposed to come out on Halloween, was delayed for several reasons. And yeah, what do you think?
I mean, first of all, before anything else, this new trailer that's showing here, it's obviously not the VR footage. It's, crystal clear or whatever, but it's new footage and it looks awesome. Like this looks like a game that I cannot wait to fucking play, man. Like obviously it's a horror game, but I don't know, like everything about this just like says, you can't wait to play this, Brian. You can't wait to do it. So I love that they revealed some new gameplay, all the stuff that led up to this, even though there was a 4-minute video that led up to this. And I was still like, I don't think I really understand what's going on here. In this short little 1-minute video, gives me a little bit of a better understanding of what kind of puzzles to expect and, what the different rooms look like. This shows a lot of variety and a lot of detail. So, I mean, what do you think of the trailer, man? It looks fantastic, right?
Well, it looks good, but here's the thing: is that it looks like it's from the information that I have, it's Perp Games is publishing the PS5 version.
Yeah,
but is it not the PS4 version? Do you know?
There's got to be some weird kind of deals when it comes to publishing a PS4 game over a PS5 game, or vice versa, or whatever. Or is there a point of publishing a PS4 version of something right now, like especially when this game isn't scheduled to launch right now, like this?
Yeah, it does say it. They did say a PSVR version in the future, though, from what I saw from one of their tweets.
A physical PSVR version in the future.
Something like that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, it should be launching on all platforms simultaneously. We should be getting the PS4, PS5, and PSVR version all at the exact same time. And that new release window is now mid 2022. And the PS5 is a new addition to this. Like the PS5 SKU is a new addition. So I'm sure the PS4 and PSVR versions have been in the works the longest. That's great, man. Anytime we see Perp publishing something we're actually interested in, because they had a run where they just published a lot of garbage. They're kind of still in that run, I think. Unfortunately, they got stuck with Gravitational, which is just not really fun at all, and plenty of other games that just haven't had a lot of interest.
Here's the tweet. Perp Games are thrilled to be publishing the PS5 version of Do Not Open. But then it says there is also a PSVR version coming as well. Our friends at PS Talents revealed the terrifying news on their showcase. So, I don't know.
Strangely.
They seem, it's worded strangely, and it seems like they're being very specific about publishing the PS5 version, which, and that's kind of what I got from this footage, was that I don't see like any VR stuff. It looks like the PS5 version. So, I don't really know. But there is a confirmed PSVR version, and that's the one I care about right now.
this seems like a weird game to start drawing a line in the sand and being like, no, you have to buy the PS5 and PS4 versions separately. It seems like there's usually a free PS5 upgrade. I don't expect that this is going to be any different.
A digital PS4 version with the PS5 one.
Right, exactly. Right. So we'll see what happens. But some of the news that came along with this was really interesting. We'd heard rumors of this before, but it's now confirmed that Egas Gonzalez Lancharo is getting composer credit. Now, this is somebody who's been involved in a lot of big blockbuster action movies like Captain America Winter Soldier, World War Z, Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim, baby. I love Pacific Rim. That was such a good time. Some of my friends hated that movie. I loved it. I was like, I came to the theater to see giant robots fighting giant lizards, and I got that, and I was very happy.
All right. Well, I'm happy for you because apparently the soundtrack stood out to you, and I don't know if obviously we don't know if this guy is the composer of the main themes of those movies, but he's involved. He's credited with the soundtracks for those movies, and so they got a big name who's obviously very capable. And as we know, sound is super crazy important in VR games, in any games really, but a soundtrack can really add to the tension in the atmosphere. So we'll see if he's up to the task on this. I think this is great news. Little strange, I think, that we're just getting a mid-2022 release window, like that it got delayed out of like an exact date of Halloween 2021. It now is just sometime in the middle of next year. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, all right. Well, in super surprising news, Brian, yesterday, the Exorcist Legion VR had a brand new announcement, and there is a lot of things to discuss about this, isn't there?
I mean, yeah, for a teaser trailer that literally doesn't show not even a single second of gameplay, there is a lot to talk about here. This teaser came out. It's called the Exorcist Legion VR SIN, and SIN stands for safety in numbers. And this is a full-fledged, it's not DLC, it's not an expansion or anything else. This is an actual sequel to the Exorcist Legion VR, and it is dun 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 co-op multiplayer.
Yeah, that is super cool. That is the big surprise here. Exorcist Legion is getting a co-op sequel, and that is the first thing to kind of break down, unpack. I think what's happening here is that developers, I think some people saw the success of Phasmophobia.
Yep.
And I think this is a really smart move on the Exorcist part, because this is my little theory, if you will. I think that not a lot of people play horror games by themselves because they're too scary.
Yep.
And I think this is a great way to start getting people to play horror games, because you get to do it with friends. You don't have to feel like you're alone.
Yep.
You get a game to play co-op. You get to laugh and scream with your friends, and it becomes more of a like memorable, fun kind of a memory. And so I only feel like there's some good things about this. However, I am not sure how they plan to make this work. Like, is one person going to be holding him down? The other person going to be like holding a cross over him and chanting Latin? But yeah, I have no idea how it's going to work, obviously, because we haven't seen any gameplay or anything.
Yeah. But I think this is going to look shockingly similar to Phasmophobia. I think we're going to see a lot of the same gameplay mechanics. It's crazy how many things worked in Phasmophobia. If you've ever watched somebody play, if you ever played it yourself, I've actually just watched a lot of people play it, especially over on our Discord. I remember there was a while where Sonic and a bunch of other people were playing it. And yeah, and like going in and being able to have like different abilities and tracking the ghost, or I guess here the demon, around a specific area, and working together to kind of figure out how to trap that. Whether it be photography, whether it be holy water. I mean, there's just all these different things that you can implement in. And
like identify it first, and then make the next move. I see.
Did you find it interesting that they didn't specify how many people this will be multiplayer? Because Phasmophobia, right. I believe, I'll have to look this up, but I think it's 4-player. online
Yeah.
multiplayer. And so this would be a little weird if it was just 2 people. It would feel like immediately just, this is what we're going for. It's called safety in numbers. You'd think there better be at least 3 people to play this
That's
with.
true. That's true. Going now that you put it that way, I see what you mean. But my initial thought was co-op because I just don't know. It's not like an
You were
action
thinking
game like
two-person
after
co-op? Is that what you were thinking?
I was thinking that. Yeah, I mean I have no idea, but I was thinking that because that's typically in the movies you see 2 people and with the way we've seen this game, this IP designed in the past, there's not usually a crowd of people that go and perform an exorcism. But who knows? There could be. I'd say anywhere from 2 to 4, no more than 4.
Well, it's actually 1 to 4. As Braxbro in the chat says, Phasmophobia also has a single player mode, which makes it even scarier.
True.
This also can be played single player. So just because if you don't happen to like multiplayer, you can absolutely play this single player, which I think would be fun the first time through. Like same conversation I had with myself and all of you about after the fall. Kind of want to play through myself just to get as many scares as possible, and then play through again with people just to really get that social aspect of it.
So another surprise with this is that it's not being developed by Wolf and Wood, instead by Pocket Money Games.
Now this is very interesting because not only is it it's published by Fun Train, the same people who published the last one, but it's the strangest part about this isn't that it's not being developed by Wolf and Wood. It's that Wolf and Wood didn't even know this was a thing until the announcement. They retweeted and said we had no part of this. We didn't write anybody. We didn't know this was happening until you guys all knew this was happening. So it sounds like there's there's a little bit of bad blood going on between developer and publisher over there.
Maybe.
I mean, at this point, I think there would be. You're like, hey, you just took this out of our hands. You didn't even ask our opinion. You didn't let us in, let us know that it was even happening. I think it's kind of a weird move. It's also a bit of a weird move to put somebody like Pocket Money Games on it, who is developing the upcoming Twilight Zone games.
Twilight Zone.
But
I guess I wonder if we'll have to judge that by that at all.
Yeah, I mean, if one sucks, the other one, I don't have high hopes for the other, right? We know Wolf and Wood is competent. We don't know if they're competent to make a multiplayer game, right? Because I think everything we've played by them so far has been single player. So I don't know, man. So I'm super excited about this announcement because, hey, it's like the more games like this out there, the better. But at the same time, it's like I just don't know what to expect in terms of quality. So we'll see, man.
Finally, Brian.
Yeah.
This game is coming in 2022. They said when they announced it, they said it's coming next year, and they have said PSVR 1, and they specifically. I saw you and Haseeb Mirza having a little bit of a conversation in the tweets. Shout out to Sniper Jones and. And the Exorcist account left our hashtag that we made and put hashtag NGVR, which is Next Gen VR. And so they basically told us that we can expect this to be coming to PSVR2 or PS5 VR as well. So that's super cool.
Because I mean, as somebody in the chat, it was Braxbro again. No offense to Wolf and Wood, but I'm glad because it doesn't seem like this would work with their control scheme. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just want to play this on PSVR 2. I do. If I'm gonna run around and be terrified with friends, now I want my analog sticks, man, and I want a more traditional control scheme with the current moves. And Wolf and Wood seems very, very intent on holding on to their control scheme, which I'm not a fan of.
Even the first game, even Exorcist Legion looked pretty stunning at times.
Yeah.
And so this on a next gen system, really exciting stuff here. But it's PSVR and PSVR 2.
Yeah, and I don't really expect at this point. I think Sony's going to be betting a lot on cross-platform play for PS4 VR, PS5 VR, flat screen potentially, PS4, flat screen, PS5, and having all of those ecosystems play together. And I think that's where the multiplayer is going to come from. I would be very surprised if we saw cross-platform with the Quest gamers out there. We'll see how this all goes down though, especially as they start talking more about next-gen VR.
Yep. Well, something that's not awesome, Brian.
God damn it. You know, I almost forgot to add this to the show because I unconsciously didn't want to talk about it anymore. But we do need to talk about Rythm of the Universe, Ionia, which came out, which didn't make its release date last month, but then,
dude, this game, the release date, it came out on like other platforms,
yeah,
and then they just went silent, and like that was weird. Like that rarely happens that a game is like PSVR, it's coming out, and then like the day comes and it's just like, oh,
oops,
whoops, sorry, like
right.
like literally the minute after it was supposed to launch. We were told that it'd be coming in a later date. So they decided to stealth drop it on Tuesday at midnight. Turns out it's terrible.
I mean, so terrible, so terrible.
Oh.
You know, like the one thing I want to get out of the way first is that this game was sort of being marketed as a beautiful audio visual experience. And they nailed half that pretty much.
Right.
They get the audio's good, but honestly, like if your selling point was that this is going to be beautiful and it's kind of ugly, like even the big areas, like there's a point where you grab onto this little rail thing that kind of like sends you through the environment, and it's supposed to be like, oh, look at this big fucking vast open area that you just got into, and look how stunning it is, and the music swells, and it's like, oh, but really, what happens in PlayStation VR, contrary to the PC version, is it goes out and you're like, oh, look, it's big and open and still really fucking drab and boring. Like it just doesn't have any impact whatsoever.
Everything about this game is wrong, minus the soundtrack. I'll give it the soundtrack. Yeah. Everything else is about worst case scenario. The game starts up and it's a flat 2D cutscene that looked good, but it's a 2D cutscene with like the cinema screen. Yeah. And then the game starts up, and like I can immediately tell that this is like maybe even like a Quest 1 port that was just basically brought over and like not touched. All the lighting, it's similar to like Layers of Fear when that came out. Yeah. All the lighting, all the textures, gone. All the good looking things, which granted like the one thing we heard about this game from our PC VR friends was that like, oh, it's visually stunning. And yeah, all of that, just the life sucked out of it. And then it gets worse. I mean, the settings, you mentioned this in your review, the settings right away, there's no smooth turning option. There's and then the full locomotion is like slow as hell. I mean, you basically so I was basically teleporting and click turning through this entire thing. And then, there's like I tried to find anything that was good, and I just couldn't. There's vines that you can climb up, and when you start climbing, I wasn't able to turn. Were you able to turn while climbing?
No, you're stuck.
Yeah, you can't use the turn buttons while climbing. So it's so poorly designed and ported over. It is garbage, and it's so terrible because the thing that makes me the most mad here is like I saw potential here for an actual like decent experience, and it was $15, and I was like, like all it had to do was just smooth out the gameplay that it had and look good. And it couldn't even do that, and it was incredibly disappointing. And it was just so bad. It looks god awful. Like it looks so bad. The geometry of stuff, awful.
But you know what? Like the fact is like I think the environments look really nice on the trailers that we've seen for the PC version. But like I really don't even like the character designs, and the voice acting is terrible. And just sitting there listening to them talk and. Jeremy, look, it's a Gamecat butthole. With the $5 tip in the chat says, "Thanks for playing this BS so we don't have to." # stop with the PSVR games. Yeah, please. Yeah. It's just not.
They're gonna happen from time to time. It's gonna happen from time to time that we get some crappy games, and it just happens. It's inevitable. It's just really disappointing when this had a lot of promise, and I love how you look at the store page, and like you look at the description of the game, and it says, like, usually games will be like, embark on an adventure, blah blah blah. This says like 10% of proceeds go to the Wildlife Warriors.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I would have rather just paid the Wildlife Warriors like $5-10 or whatever, instead of having to play this. Now you've hurt the cause. You've wasted my time on top of this. So it's not in good faith that we receive this.
Gatorade 23, the H2O despising Gamecat, with the $10 tip, thank you, says, I remember a time in my life when roughly 7 out of 10 games I've bought sucked due to false advertising or lack thereof. What I'm trying to say is thanks for saving me money on crap. Yeah, man, it's rough, and but the thing is I don't want to shit on this game specifically for being a bad port, right? Because I feel like even if the locomotion worked properly, which it doesn't work properly on PSVR, we already had Wes from Virtual Strangers confirm this. When you're walking around, you still need to teleport occasionally to go up and down stairs. You still need to teleport to like get yourself into a position. There's just invisible walls everywhere that you need to teleport through to go to a desired node-to-node area. And so really, even if this worked perfectly, and even if it was beautiful, I still don't think this would be more than a 4 or 5. Like it's just so boring, and the voiceovers are irritating, and the story isn't good, and the puzzles are just so simple. Thank God for the puzzles though, because it's the only time you get to do something.
Yeah, well, I thought it can't get one thing right, because I was like, oh, at least you have, it's move supported. At least you grab and climb and stuff. Yep. That was bad because you can't turn while you're climbing. So you're like having to like climb backwards, and you can't see the entire view of anything. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen a game do this before that was so built from the ground up for VR, yet so horrible for VR. I mean, each little section, you hit the ground and it's like black screen.
Yeah.
And you can't turn any of this off. You cannot. You can set it to the lowest possible setting. It's inexcusable that we are 5 years into like VR being, on the start of VR, I would say, and that a game this late in the VR cycle to just get so many things wrong. And we knew when this game entered development. I mean, it was a couple years ago we started following this game. Yeah. And so like it just
45 minutes long. It's 45 minutes. Like it's
45 minutes long.
I almost don't want to put that in the negative column. Yeah, because I just don't want to play it anymore. When the credits finally rolled, I was like, thank you. That's all I want to play. Fucking let's get this over with. This is terrible.
No, I was very happy that this was only 45 minutes. If this was any longer, I'd claw my eyeballs out.
Yeah. Shen Miaozo in the chat. Well, I'm not sure if I've ever said that out loud. With the $5 says, if hybrid takes off on NGVR, you'll never have to cover crap like this again. You'll be spoiled for choice. Oh, God, dude. If that's...
I agree, because look, here's the thing. When at the beginning of this episode, I mentioned Dreams and how amazing it is. Mm-hmm. And, I gave a list of my collection, a game to go check out. And that's what I'm finding here has been the reason these games I'm discovering are so special, is that these are incredible games being built for flat screen and then imported over to VR. And because of that, you get these core game mechanics that are just we're used to. You get these you get these stunning visuals. I mean, games in Dreams are way better than this game in every single way possible, and you don't even have to pay for them. Yeah. They look better, they play better, they're more fun, they have better voice acting, for God's sake. These are just independent gamers making these things, and they are better. And so, yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Shin Miyazo. I think the hybrid solution, especially when we have those sweet orbs, I can't wait. That's going to make everything a lot easier, because I think the hybrid situation has not worked as gracefully as it should have this gen. Because we're limited to DualShock and limited to moves and limited to the PS4 hardware. So yeah, that's going to be something that is going to be much easier to do next gen, and it's going to be sweet.
In response to Gatorade's tweet, Dan Kiefer says, they save us money, but sometimes they also get us to buy Immortal Legacy. You're welcome. By comparison, Immortal Legacy is a 10 out of 10. By comparison, whew, man. Wolveraza with the $2 tip says, appreciate the honesty in your reviews. Bravo. Thank you very much, Wolveraza. Appreciate you being here. Dark Angel with the $5 tip says, Mew, some milk for your soul. And I think nobody would appreciate that milk for the soul more than, who's a good kitty? Who's a good? That's right. Oh, love you so much, Tornado.
Oh.
That doesn't get enough love over here. She doesn't get to be on camera all that often. Yeah, man. So this is a big 0. I mean, I gave it a 2.5, but it doesn't matter if it's a 1 or 2 or 3. Don't buy it, man. There's no patch that's going to save this one, unfortunately. Let's go. Mad Max, the Metaverse Gamecat, with $2 tip says, looks like Tarzan 2.0. LOL, the cyberpunk of VR, dude. Tarzan is so much better than this game. So much better. Like, I mean, it's night and day. I can't even believe. Like that I love Tarzan compared to this game, and I should never say that I love Tarzan.
Alberto Mapom, the game gato, says, I've just noticed in the trailers it says VR series, so they intend on releasing more of this.
Yeah,
Ryan, what do you think the odds of them making a second one of these are?
Well, so there's supposed to be DLC for this one that they're giving us for free. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
But the series as a whole, yes, it's supposed to be one of many Rhythm of the Universe games. It's supposed to be Rhythm of the Universe. Blah blah blah. Like at the very end, there was a big stone tablet that said Rhythm of the Universe, something else. So it's like obviously like a tease for their next game. So is it going to happen? I mean, not if it doesn't sell, right? I mean, that any business out there, doesn't matter if they're a game developer or they make products for you to buy in a store, or it doesn't matter, man. If it doesn't sell, they're not going to keep making it. And so I highly doubt that this one is going to see a sequel. Maybe not even get the free DLC. Jamie with the $2 tip says, talk about Ubisoft in Division VR. My nips are soft. I think that is a good transition. It is time to talk about a little Ubisoft because hot damn, it sounds like Ubisoft could very well be talking about PlayStation VR2 games very soon.
They're up to some things over there, aren't they?
They sure are. One of the things that they... hold on a second. No, that's not it. Hold on 1 second. I promise. What's a good... Werewolves Within. There we go. Ah, damn it. I knew I was going to... Whatever trailer...
I still need to see that movie. I'm
watched
waiting
it. Did I tell you that?
No, is it good?
It's all right. Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of fun. But anyway.
I mean, if it was a comedy and you enjoyed it, I'll take that as like it's the greatest movie ever.
Yeah. No. I mean, it felt like a movie that like should have come out around the time like that Goonies did. It felt like a movie that was like ripped straight out of that era. Like it just never came out and like just recently got released. It feels good. If you like those kind of movies from that era, then yeah, you'll love this.
Nice.
Okay. So here's where this story starts. The story starts with an email that a lot of gamers got. It was a survey from Ubisoft, and it was all about VR. Now, I went through the survey, and they asked the typical things like your gender, your age, and they start going into, have you played VR games? Do you own a headset? Which one? They give you a list to select from, and then like the rest of the survey is tailored toward those headsets. It says, how many hours do you play in flat screen? How many hours do you play in VR? How many games do you buy every year for flat? And how many games do you buy every year for VR? How long are your average VR sessions? How long have you owned your headsets? How many total hours have you played VR? I had to click the 500 plus button. I was like, there's no like 2,000, there's no 50,000. I don't even know. I didn't do the math. And then it starts asking questions like, where do you play? This is when it starts getting interesting, I think. It says, where do you play VR? You know, it says, do you have a dedicated space? Is it in your bedroom? Is it your living room? Big area? Whatever. How happy are you with your headsets? How interested are you in buying these headsets? And then it says PSVR2, Quest 3. It says, like name subject to change or whatever. And I think under the Quest 3, it said, expected to be revealed or something. Like they didn't want to like go and say, hey, we know this is happening. But under PSVR2, they didn't say that at all. It just said PSVR2. Which interesting. we know PSVR2 is happening. They announced it in February. It's an official thing.
Right. Yeah, right.
But still, it's funny that they didn't say name might change or something. They just called it PSVR2.
Right. Right.
What type of gaming experiences are you most looking forward to in VR? What types of games do you want to play in VR? And it goes to like social hangouts, PvP, co-op, traditional games converted to VR, which I was like, yes, very, very interested in that one.
How did you get this survey, by the way? How did you get them to send? Did you just sign up to their newsletter on their site?
So I didn't get this survey, right?
Okay.
This is the fun part, right? Because whenever Sony sends out a VR email, I never get those. Never.
I get them. I get them.
I know.
But this was from Ubisoft, though.
Right. I'm just saying, like, so so who the hell knows how these lists are curated? But
You just sign up. You just sign up on their website, probably. I used to be on Ubisoft's thing, and I think I just haven't been inactive for a long time, or haven't in a long time.
it might have been what happened to me too. So one of our viewers sent me the email, and so I was like, "Fuck, I'm just gonna go right through it and answer all the questions, or see what all the questions are at least." So thank you, Chris. Okay, let's just get through the rest of the survey real quick. How often do you experience motion sickness when using your VR headset?
Never.
In your opinion, what are the best things that a developer can do to eliminate or minimize motion sickness in VR games and experiences? Conversely, what are the worst things a developer can do that'll trigger motion sickness in VR games and experiences? You guys out there are all probably screaming answers at your phone or your screen or whatever. Trust me, I gave them the answers that you're yelling right now. So Hakuna Matata, we get that covered. Which games offer the best locomotion options? Please give us up to 3 examples. Then they give me a huge list of games, not related at all to the games that were mentioned up to this point, like Beat Saber and Resident Evil 7, just a whole list of VR games. Resident Evil 4 VR, does all sorts of different consoles. And rate each of these 1 to 10. And then it says, how interested would you be in seeing each of the following brands, Ubisoft brands, adapted in VR? And it lists games like For Honor, Prince of Persia, Splinter Cell, Raving Rabbids, that's like 0, Watch Dogs, Ghost Recon, The Crew, Anno, which I'm not familiar with, Far Cry, Just Dance, and Assassin's Creed. Now, when you're done with the survey, a message pops up, says, thank you for your participation. Your opinion matters to us, and we would love to continue this conversation with you in the following weeks. Would you be interested in sharing more about your experience with VR in a 1-hour online interview with Ubisoft teams? The discussion would happen on an evening, the second week of December. Now, this went out to a lot of fucking people, man, right? And there's a lot of people out there very, very excited about PSVR2. They're very excited about their Quest, very excited about their PSVR1, right? I'm sure a lot of people. Do you know how difficult it would be to get all of these people to agree to an NDA and at the same time have there be repercussions for them breaking an NDA, right? Like if you and I break a non-disclosure agreement, there's repercussions, like that they might not talk to us anymore. Like if
Right.
anytime something's happening with Ubisoft, they're like, no, we're fucking blacklisted. But like the casual consumer, it's like they're just gonna go buy the game anyway. Like who cares? You can't blacklist a casual consumer, not really, right?
No.
And so the thing that stood out to me about this is a ton of people probably got this invitation to talk about next gen VR. And they specifically said that this would be happening on the second week of December. And I don't think you talk about next gen VR without showing off certain things, saying, hey, this is something we're working on over here. Look at this over here. And the only 2 things that we're aware of that they're working on VR specifically are Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed that are Oculus exclusives.
That are publicly aware of, yes.
Right, that we're aware of, right? And so why they haven't shown off those at all. We know that they're in the works. And so we definitely expect those to be happening. But obviously, if they were developing PSVR2 launch titles, those can't be announced yet. We haven't seen. We know about PSVR2 launch titles and they haven't been announced, right? This is very, very interesting to me. This is saying the second week in December. Why the second week in December, AJ? Are they going to be talking about VR games with the casual consumer? Why?
Well, it'll be interesting because right now it is rumored to be that PSVR 2, NGVR, PS5 VR, whatever you want to call it, is supposed to be shown in December. And so it would make more sense that if they had stuff in the works that would line up with this announcement. There's a lot of things to keep our eyes on next month, because most people are aware that Sony earlier this year told us that there was going to be more to show for the next gen of VR,
Right.
and they basically told us that. And so we've been waiting, and there is 1 month left, and we haven't heard anything since like what, March? And the biggest things that I can think of is a Sony event, the Game Awards, and those are actually the two biggest things. A Sony event or the Game Awards are the biggest possibilities. So hopefully something happens there, and then once that happens, then it's like the floodgates are open. Then so many people can start talking about, unveil what they've been working on and things like that. And Ubisoft has a history of having, they had in the launch window for PSVR 1, they had Eagle Flight, Werewolves Within, and Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, Eagle Flight and Bridge Crew did really, really well. Bridge Crew was a huge social multiplayer game for a long time. Eagle Flight sold really well back in the day. And Werewolves Within, I'm unsure about. I would imagine, I'm not sure.
I don't know sales figures on Werewolves Within specifically, but I do know that people still play that game. It's like one of those games where there's actually a website you can jump onto and see if people are actively playing, like right now. If you want to play a game, like go to the website and see, and you'll see. And there's always people playing. It's really strange.
Okay.
And so I think all of Ubisoft's titles did really well, and I do think that. I mean, yeah, they have a history of being right there on day one, not just VR, but consoles in general. And so they obviously have these PSVR2 titles lined up, and I would be shocked if they weren't available for launch. Now, the thing is if we know that Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed are Oculus exclusives. Okay.
Right.
So it's
we don't know what the PlayStation's potential PlayStation exclusives that are in development are.
Right. So take those off the table. What do you think the PlayStation VR2 games in development are? And do you think that they're exclusives? Do you think Sony would let Oculus have all the fun when it comes to exclusives?
Well, that survey might be a little telling of maybe they don't even know yet. Maybe it could be early for some of these titles. That could be. If it's a launch window title, I don't think exclusivity is. I don't know. I don't know if that's a huge deal for Ubisoft at launch for PlayStation VR 2. I think that's a tricky one. But the potential is a lot of stuff. I mean, PS5 VR is going to have the capacity to run a Far Cry or a Prince of Persia. A Prince of Persia game has been in development, I think, or maybe it's just a remaster for a while. There's also stuff like Rainbow Six Siege or Rainbow Six series. So there could be a first-person shooter. There could be Far Cry series. There could be other stuff that is much larger scope and probably couldn't run on a Quest.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't think, to answer your question, no, I don't think it'd be exclusive. I think they would go the PlayStation and Steam route, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm seeing. To me, I'm seeing. There's two different things I'm expecting. I expect them. They seem to love experimenting with VR, like trying out new things. The multiplayer social aspect of it with Bridge Crew and Werewolves Within, the open world of Eagle Flight and just getting to soar around like a bird, which I'm really to this day hasn't really been matched quite that well. And so I think I would expect that to see something that we've never heard of before, right? First and foremost, here's your PSVR2 title, can only be played in VR, and it's a VR experiment. Like, we're trying something new and different that's all you can only do in VR. Here you go, right? It's the next Eagle Flight, the next something or another. But I also fully expect them to be taking advantage of this hybrid initiative where they not, their next Assassin's Creed game, Oculus might have the exclusive for a VR Assassin's Creed game, but when Assassin's Creed 19 comes out, I don't know what number they're up to, but I'm assuming it's close to that. There has to be that maybe this hybrid model will be hey, you can play on your flat screen on a flat screen third person DualSense controller, but then put your VR headset on, use your orbs, first person, climb up the tree yourself, do all the parkour as in Assassin's Creed in first person. So I could totally see that being a thing too. There's so many options here, and I kind of hope some games that came out for them that weren't received all that well might get a second chance, like maybe like a Division VR,
Division is
or
that's
Watch
exactly
Dogs
what I was
VR.
thinking.
All of these would just make so much more sense in VR. They would feel like, because these games felt like they sort of belonged in VR to begin with, and I think the multiplayer aspect of Division would be amazing, and then like the open world idea of Watch Dogs and all the hacking would just be like so much more fun to do in VR without the menus. It's something more a little organic, taking your cell phone off of your chest or out of your pocket or something like that, and just kind of doing everything manually rather than just pushing a bunch of buttons. So
Is Just Cause made by UbiSoft?
I thought that was published by Square.
Yeah, it's Square Enix. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, you got me excited for a second, Twitcher. I was like, what? Yeah, I would totally take Just Cause in VR.
Right. So this is obviously we're taking a bit of a leap here. I totally understand that. I don't want people to be like, oh, this was clickbait. In fact, like I actually heard there was not an Oculus. I heard there was there were going to be Ubisoft games, VR games shown in December, and so maybe mixed messages, right? So at first I was like, oh, wait a minute, I thought this was all connected, but I think it's actually gonna be separate. I think the VR games that will be shown, PSVR2 games that will be shown, will be at Sony's event whenever that is. Again, we're really fully expecting that to be first or second week in December. It is so right around the corner. So the deal is that anytime anything like this happens, even if it's just a simple Ubisoft survey about VR, man, I'm on top of it, because it's all of these things are like little puzzle pieces that add up to something bigger, and we're so close to it, man. We're counting down the days. We are less than a month away to really fully seeing what Sony's going to be giving us for next gen VR, and it's
most likely yes.
So
look, let's say the rumor falls through and it doesn't happen next month, it wouldn't be much longer after that. I mean, it's got to happen sometime pretty soon. That we have to see more. They're on a timer now, and they are starting to fall behind, and they need to. They don't have much longer before they can say something, before they really lose everybody.
Yeah. Wolverazza in the chat says, I don't trust the hybrid push they're talking about. I feel like it gives them an out from building from ground up more than from being built
you
from
will
the ground
take
up
those
PSVR2
hybrids
games.
and you will like it, Wolverazza.
He says, I hope I'm wrong, but I always hope that. This is part of that initiative. Like, there's certainly been games you can play in VR, like Resident Evil 7, that you can also play on the flat screen. That's not a hybrid game like that. I think the push here isn't for more games like Resident Evil 7. The push is for more games that are easily switchable back and forth from VR to flat screen, but feel VRAF, Shadow Legends, Saints and Sinners kind of thing. And so that's the initiative. That's the push that Sony's talking about. It's not.
And they literally said that they want to still have them feel built from the ground up for VR.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be as hard to do with the Orbs controllers, because that's going to basically fix so many things. A big hurdle. That thing is basically a DualSense broken in half, and that's what it is. So they know what they're doing, man. It's PlayStation, man. Yeah. And they've been around forever. And there was something else I was going to say, though. Yeah, I was going to say, when you talk about hybrids, look at No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was not intended to be a VR game, but when you play it in VR, you would have a hard time knowing that this was designed for a controller, because they really redesigned a lot of stuff. I was just having this conversation with Jay Meow. That is an example of how you can get away with being a hybrid in VR and still feeling like it was built for VR. Right. It's possible. It's very doable.
Yeah.
Very, very doable.
Gene Hippolyte, I hope I pronounced that right, in the chat says the chip shortage is probably really affecting the release date of PSVR2. Only in the sense that they can't get enough PS5s out there. The chip shortage shouldn't be affecting the PlayStation VR2 specifically. But yes,
right.
Indirectly, because they want as many PlayStation 5s out there as possible. Yes.
Yes, but you can look. I know it takes a lot of work, but you can get a PS5. We're not affiliated with Sony.
Right.
We went and worked our asses off. There are ways. It is hard to get a PS5, but there are ways to do it. I've got one. My girlfriend's got one. My best friends have got one. Brian's got one.
Everybody I know that wants one has one now.
Yes, yeah. My friend, him and his wife, they have 2 PS5s in their household, and that is with 3 kids. Like, you can get one. It's just a little. It just takes a little savviness. Is all.
It does. And time. Like, we don't get us wrong. Like, we totally understand that this is a time commitment, that you're not gonna be able to get one the first day you decide to get one. It's gonna take some time. We get that. But if you really want one, then you put the work in and be patient. Don't give in to scalpers. That's one of the things. Don't want to give in to scalpers. And every day, and it's going to get easier every single day. Even though the chip shortage seems like it's going to last until through next year, every day it'll still get easier. The people who want one right away at launch right now, who are willing to spend launch price money and not have a crazy library of games to play, that kind of shit. That number of people, the early adopters, that number is shrinking every single day because they're slowly getting one, and that as that number shrinks, the availability becomes higher. A lot of people are waiting for the first price drop or the first remodel or PSVR2 or plenty of other things or a specific game to come out. So it will get easier, I promise. I think that brings us, AJ.
Oh, snap.
To PSVR 20 questions. For anyone who doesn't know, this is when one of us picks a PlayStation VR game and the other one has 20 yes or no questions, along with help from the chat to figure out what game that is. You also go and put 6 minutes up on the clock. I'm thinking of the game today. AJ, are you ready?
Cats, are you ready? Let's do this, Ryan.
All right, go for it.
Shit. Does it have DualShock 4 support?
Yes.
Does it have move support?
Yes.
Does it have any other controller support?
No.
Okay. Is it an action game?
No.
Is it a puzzle game?
Yes. That's fine.
It is a puzzle game. Uses DualShock 4 and moves. And is a puzzle game. Do I like this puzzle game? Meh.
You're pretty middle of the road on it. I would say you like it less than I do, considerably.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody was like, does AJ like this game? I'd be like, no, probably not really.
Okay. I'm glad you acknowledge that I don't like every puzzle game.
I know you love puzzle games, but you don't love all puzzle games.
No, just the good ones. Does it? Is it futuristic?
No.
Does it have a sci-fi setting, as Ian Stanbridge says? I probably should have said no. You know what? Well, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, I mean, futuristic sci-fi setting. That's kind of a waste right there. Sorry, Ian. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it a horror game?
No.
Okay. Let's see. So it can't be like Transpose or something. It uses. There's so many. Static doesn't use the moves. It would have been so much easier if he just said if it's easy or not, or if I liked it or not. Definitive answer. I'm gonna go with GC13 Diet Pepsi Cat. Does it have a cartoony look?
Yes.
Has this developer made other games? PSVR games?
Yes. It's 11.
Is it made by Shell Games?
No.
Not show games. Okay. That's 12. Okay, so the developer has made other PSVR games. Does it have a story, like Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry says? A good story? Or a story?
Not a good story, no.
Okay.
The story is
Okay.
very minimal. Let's put it that way. Because there is a story, but it's minimal.
Bogey Cat Productions, has it been on the top 25 list?
No.
Ooh, that's not good. Ooh. Okay. I think Fred F. That's good. That's a good guess, but I think that's kind of cartoony. How much time is left?
2 minutes and 36 seconds.
2 minutes and 36 seconds. Roy Schwartz says, do you have hands in the game?
No. That's
You
15.
don't have hands in the game. So it has move controllers, but you don't have hands. Do you shoot pigs? Says Sci-Fi Game. He's done Angry Birds, so you can't be Angry Birds again. And I don't think that uses move support.
Angry Birds does have move support, but are we talking? Only the second one has DualShock, I think. I will say that before we started the show, I said I think that we maybe have done this one before, maybe have not.
Is it based on a popular IP?
No, 16.
Damn it! You tricked me.
I mean,
Stop saying good dog, bad dog in the chat and help me, you guys.
all you can think about now.
Listen,
I'm gonna give you a question back because of the futuristic sci-fi one. So, but hurry up because you only got 1 minute and 20 seconds left.
Minute 20 seconds. You said it is futuristic sci-fi?
No, it's not. I'm giving you the question back because futuristic and sci-fi were the same question.
Oh, okay.
But you only get a minute.
That was kind of an accident. Oh shit. Okay. How many questions left? 2?
5.
5 questions left. Okay, guys, come on.
4 and a guess. Come on.
Come on, guys. Did it come out in the first year of PSVR?
No.
They've made other stuff, guys. They've made other stuff. Stop saying he says bad dog, good dog. You guys are gonna ruin this. You guys are going to mess this up for me. For us.
They help you so frequently, so eventually they have to ruin it for you.
Do you like? Oh, you said you do like this game, kind of. So it can't be squishies. Good try, though. Good
I like
try.
it more than you.
You like it more than me. Wind. Do you shoot anything in the game?
I think maybe like once, but it's not a gameplay mechanic. No. It's more of a. If you do, it's a puzzle because of the puzzle.
I think Tumble was a launch game. Xenomorph. You have hands at prison boss.
You get 2 more and a guess, and you only get 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Do you have pause? Do you control vehicles?
No and no.
Vacation sim.
It is not Vacation Simulator.
Damn.
In fact, this game came to us
Right,
not from Alchemy Labs, but Fast Travel Games brought us Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets.
What? That's cartoony.
That's why I said yes. It is cartoony. You also guessed Vacation Sim. Somebody
in the chat said Curious Tale, and I said no because that's cartoony. Did you say yes when I asked cartoony? I thought you said no.
No, I definitely said yes.
What the hell's... Chat, did he say yes?
We need some fact checkers here. Did I screw up?
I thought he said no when I asked cartoony. But I don't even remember.
Nick Mueller says, we told you. He said it was cartoony, AJ.
He said it was cartoony.
He said yes.
Damn
Everybody in the
it!
chat is on my side. All right.
Oh, I would have had that, man.
Well, half the game is asking questions, and the other half is listening to the answers.
Damn.
So
I was so thrown off by good dog, bad dog. That's all I could think about. God damn it. Shit. Somebody said Curious Tale of Stolen Pets, and I was like, that's a really good one, but he said it wasn't cartoony.
I think during that question we were also talking about Angry Birds and other things, and so I was trying to we were answering other questions when you brought that up again. So
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You guys, you gotta stop saying good dog bad. Can we just go back to pretending that game doesn't exist? That's all I can think about right now, and it's killing me.
All right, you guys. Well, listen, there's a ton more news that like we didn't even get to today. There's a huge sale going on in the PlayStation Store right now for PlayStation VR games. It is a PlayStation VR game sale. It's like PSVR Part 2, because like, we just had Part 1 like last month or something. It's a lot of games to talk about. I'm going to do my best between now and Friday to get a sale video out there. We'll see. I got to see exactly how big the sale is. I know it's really big, so we may or may not happen. But I'm also going to get my Yuki review out tomorrow. We got some Dreams games that I want to play, all based on AJ's recommendations. So make sure you go subscribe to AJ at PSVR Underground. Make sure you check out all the games he's recommended. He's streamed a bunch. He's recommended a bunch in a video. Check out the that Reddit link where he posts.
Actually, I can post
Dreams
it.
Please do. Post it in the chat again.
Yes.
indreams.me
Boom.
link, right, with all of his recommended dreams. You should be playing in VR. So lots and lots of good dreams to play. Guys, go buy
Don't
dreams.
waste your money. Yeah. Don't waste your money on Ionia. Like, these games are free and they're better than most of the shit you pay for. Go play them.
Yep.
And support the creators.
Spend $15-$20, whatever it takes you to get your hands on dreams, and then go play a bunch of awesome stuff. Ian Stanbridge wants me to do Good Dog, Bad Dog again soon. Was that last week? It was very, very recently. Guys, thank you all so much. So many people out there. We really appreciate all of your help. J Meow, all the mods, of course, that work over here and over on Discord. Guys, join Discord. The link's in the description. Make sure you hang out with us for the giveaways, for the conversations, for everything that we do over there. Of course, Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry, who does all of the timestamps for this every single time. Dude's insane. I can't believe he's so good at it. He's my Jeremy the NES rookie. He's mine. He's all mine. You can't have him. And of course, thank you to everybody who hung out in the chat today. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. Thank you to everybody who helped AJ out during 20 questions. He needed a lot more help. And of course, thank you to everybody who sat back and watched the show and didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there.
Some of them were on your side too, clearly.
What's that?
Nothing.
Let's ask Alberto Mapam El Gamegato. May we cue the cat?
Cue the cat, Brian, because when we will see you on Friday. Fred F. Says he loves the timestamps. Shout out to Sci-Fi Game Cat Henry, Bogey Cat Productions, Farpoint for Life, Guyson, fist bump to you, Shades of Gray Matter, thank you so much, man. Mark Douse, later, dude. Bob Zerkoff, the Underground Game Cat Elite Name Squad in the house tonight. GC13, Die Pepsi Cat, get back to work. Your fun time is over. Mr. Game Cat Canaveral. Love you. No, I really love you, man. No, I love you, man. Mr. Game Cat Canaveral. No. I love you, man. Robert the Game Cat, congrats on your new PS5 this weekend. Can't wait for you to check out these dreams I've been talking about. Giant No Pockets, aka Hater. Who dat? Game Cat says Sci-Fi Fist Bump. Virtual Strangers, West in the house tonight. What up, my dude? Hack the Game Cat. I knew it was lit up in here. Alberto Mapom, the Game Gato, Guy Got Cojones, Gabriel 004, the License Me Out, Game Cat, Brax Bro, Secrets of, good to see you, homie, Mark Pringles Leaf. We all know the origin story behind that name now, and it feels so good, doesn't it? Delirium Drew, VR, Dan Kiefer, X Pacer X. Let's see, who else is in here? I know Larry Choo. Oh, he says sale. You gonna do a sale video? Or we're gonna do a Friday.
I'll do my best, man. I'll do my best. We'll see how the rest of the week pans out. I don't want to make promises.
David the Game Cat runs. Stingray X. Take it easy, guys. Distracted Game Cat. Do you have pause, AJ? No. I mean, yes. Sure. Maybe. I don't know. Twitch is Game Cat. One of these days it'll be Mervils. Don't you worry. Hang in there, big guy.
Has it never been Mervils?
No, it's never been Mervils. No,
God.
We're going to do that last once we go through all other 520-something games.
Well, now you've given it away. During the last show, we know it's Mervils.
Yep.
Nice. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Go hump your brains out, and we'll try to hump you with some...
Some of you already did, I see.
Some PSVR. Some PSVR liquid knowledge.